Hello everyone, my name is Slade, I'll be your host, and welcome to Star Wars Did You Know? At a length of 15 meters, the insectoid creature, known as the DarkStryder, was in fact a living supercomputer, created using organic technology mastered by the Cathol species. Following a war against a group of Dark Jedi, many thousands of years before the Battle of Yavin, the Cathol found themselves unable to sustain their physical forms, and so transferred their spirits inside a device known as the Life Well. They tasked the DarkStryder with protecting both the Life Well and the remains of their civilization. However, ultimately, the DarkStryder would betray its creators, trapping them within the Life Well and taking their homeworld of Cathol for itself. It was on Cathol that the DarkStryder would build its empire, or at least the start of what it intended to be its empire, creating a vast fortress, as well as several servant species to attend its needs. Some of these species, or in some cases, members of these species, would ultimately rebel against their creator, wishing instead, rather than be ruled, to live freely without interference from the DarkStryder. This would create a state of near constant warfare for centuries to come, as the DarkStryder and its minions battled against those seeking their freedom, and even those who were free fighting one another as competition raged across Cathol. This situation would ultimately be resolved and come to a head during the time of the Galactic Civil War, following the Battle of Endor and the formation of the New Republic. Around the year 8 ABY, the DarkStryder would decide that it had had enough of Cathol and wished to stretch itself beyond the planet. To facilitate this, it entered into a deal with Imperial Moff Kentor Sarn, offering a trade, organic technology from the DarkStryder and Cathol both, in exchange for a hyperdrive starship. However, neither Sarn nor DarkStryder intended to keep their part of the deal, and what resulted was a back and forth between the two, as both tried to manipulate the other and use them for their own ends. This ongoing conflict between Sarn and the DarkStryder would ultimately be brought to a head and concluded at the hands of the crew of the modified Corellian corvette known as Farstar and its allies. Over the course of several battles and skirmishes, the Farstar's crew would ultimately kill Sarn in the Battle of Cathol before crashing their ship on the planet below. Once upon the surface, they would ultimately destroy the Life Well, both freeing the Cathol from their millennia of imprisonment, as well as killing DarkStryder and ending its reign over the planet. With the basic concept of the topic covered, I'd like to take a moment to mention something that's kind of special about this, and that is that I had never heard of this, the DarkStryder, Farstar, or anything else. I had some idea of what the Farstar was, as it had appeared in various artworks and depictions over the years, but I never understood what it was from until I covered this topic, which was a request from one of my watchers. The DarkStryder, the Life Well, the Cathol, Moff Sarn, as well as the Farstar and its crew, all originate in the same source material. That is, the DarkStryder campaign, a series of campaign books for a role-playing game back in the 90s, written in part by Timothy Zahn. And it represents something that I think is very important to anyone writing for Star Wars, whether you're doing it officially for Lucasfilm, or you're just doing it in your own fan fiction material. And that is, your story, your characters, do not have to be a part of the main character's story. To the best of my knowledge, the characters that we all know and love, such as Luke, Leia, Han, and everyone else who is involved with them, are not mentioned at all in the DarkStryder campaign. And I think that's important to note. Many writers, at whatever level they are writing at, want their characters to be intertwined with the main cast, and that often hamstrings them, or it makes their characters feel forced, which is part of the problem we're having right now with the current sequel trilogy. Characters being forced to interact with previous named characters, Luke, Leia, Han, etc., rather than being given their own stories to pursue. And I think all of us, myself, anyone here who likes to write their own Star Wars stories, and all the way up to Lucasfilm and Disney, can learn from something like the DarkStryder campaign, how to create a story separate from all the big name characters, but still very much Star Wars. Alright everyone, that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, feel free to like and subscribe. There'll be more content coming. If you'd like to support the channel on Patreon, please do so. Every little bit helps. Until next time, this is your host Slade, and this has been Star Wars Did You Know?